or 2. Oh, we're on the screen. We're live. Oh, can you get my notes off there?
Oh.
If you want to see the top 5 plays and top 5 offensive plays, top 5 defensive plays.
Why are you writing about perks?
Perk 40, baby.
Hey, gotta have.
Only way to recover from a
After-
perk on Saturday is a perk on Sunday.
Mm.
But we got to wait 3 years for that.
Bryce
Unfortunate for him.
Young, Bryce Young didn't have to wait.
No, first play of the game.
Perks everywhere.
We're live. It is Shea Dixon in the Power Hour.
Shout out,
Power.
Shout out Lance Beal. I am,
Lance
and
Beal.
apologies to Carter right
Shout
off
out
top for
Carter
everything
Bryant.
Lloyd's done.
Shade the power.
Shea the Power.
That's
and Carter,
not true.
and Carter Bryant.
No, it's only Carter.
It's only Carter. It's only
Power
Shea.
hour is completely different. A power hour is a very normal kind of rundown to describe how things go for
Right.
an hour.
He's trying to back off. Of the
I am
He's
backing off.
finding
I'm out.
context to why he's Shea the Power now. But it's because we're doing a recruiting Power Hour, which is a fun game to play in college, which is when you
Not to be confused with Carter the Power, who's got,
a stand-up comedian.
and he does very good film breakdown stuff. Great guy.
I would love to know what he does, and I guess he
Reach
gets,
out,
He
talk to
gets
him.
demonetized too, because we do the coaches breakdown with Cassie's Clicker, also on the YouTube channel. Cassie's Clicker, Shea Dixon. We're working on your YouTube channel, I believe. Once we get to, get this thing rolling a little bit, gotta get the children in, and then so everything's here on the Jordy Culotta YouTube channel. Got mic'd up tonight, 6 to 8. Little housekeeping before we get into what was. Shea, this is how I want to start it off before we get into recruiting.
Okay.
Where does this rank for you in terms of your experiences in Tiger Stadium? I know you have to go do the press box thing, and you don't really get to...
Yeah, so I'm not in the stands.
Right. You're
So-
you're credentialed.
I'd like to be.
Oh,
But,
you're just up there.
Oh, I'm credentialed, of course, but it's not as fun being in the press box
Right. You'd rather...
because you're just sitting there, right?
Right. Wait, you saying you're not credentialed for the field?
Well, I'm just saying my experience would not be the same as everyone else's, obviously. In terms of what I witnessed other people experiencing.
Right. Okay, let's do it that way. Yeah.
Up there. I mean, that was the first time. I don't think I know for a fact, 2019 never had a home game that felt like that. Like, there were a couple of close home games at home that year. Florida, Auburn. But it never felt like that. And I noticed before kickoff, I guess it helps that it's at 6 o'clock and not at 11 or 2:30 and people are following. Like, everyone was in their seat for kickoff and nobody left until they ran on the field at the end.
Right. Everybody had to file out through the
I'll say
the
this.
stadium.
I would put it, it's up there. One of the top 5 for sure in terms of pure environment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be a lot like there were 101,000 people there.
How many behold?
Or 102, whatever it is. By the time, it'll be like Florida 97, Florida 07, where by the time the stories are shared over time, like 800,000 people will have said that they were at the game.
Absolutely, because if you didn't go, it's like, well, I have tickets. Like, I was there. I was in that number.
I was at every game but that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened to me for Georgia in 2003. We had something going on. It was an afternoon game, but that's the game that reminds me the most of, is how the fans were. It didn't feel like bend it at the elbow.
I got kicked out of Florida 07.
For
bringing alcohol in. I was a student.
Oh, all right.
what
Smart
fraternity
guy.
were you in?
Kappa Sig.
You were Kappa Sig?
But that wasn't why I got kicked out.
No, they'd have kept you in. I'm a Kappa Sig. Was.
No.
Oh, yeah, y'all are frat
Preston
brothers.
Beard. Do you remember that name?
Mm-hmm. P. Beard.
P. Beard hit me up and he was like, Jay was in the fraternity. Well, I was. He was like, I think you were like 2 years older than he was.
P. Beard's a cool guy.
He is. He was singing your praises. He was like happy to see that you got to work with Shea.
Is he from Alexandria?
Uh huh.
Ah.
Yeah. That little pipeline, that Alexandria to Baton Rouge Kappa Sig pipeline is strong, Coach.
We didn't get DJ Chark.
No, we couldn't get him in Menard. He went to Ash.
Tough.
But yeah, I mean that. Why? What does it rank for you?
No, in comparison
One?
for me, I don't want to call it one. I never want to call anything.
What are people? Have y'all asked this like on the show? What are people think? Like,
No, it's just kind of been the question I've been getting a lot, like around, like
One?
we just having conversations
I don't
with
know.
friends. I would say, I mean, what it compares to most to me is Georgia 2003, where it felt like a resurgence of LSU being
Yeah.
on the map again, like fans didn't give up even after the kick out of bounds, the quick touchdown. Like, nobody was, like, groaning and leaving or anything like that. They continued to stay in the stands. They stood up. They were trying to will them to victory as opposed to being upset with an LSU team, which is usually the case. Like, fans want to go there and be mad at some points. Like, for like LSU home games, they didn't have that feeling.
Okay,
where
I
it felt
like that.
Yeah.
I like 03 Georgia.
But for me, 07 Florida is the best game I've ever been to. Atmosphere, game, importance of it, the announcement at half of the USC-Stanford score, all of that combined into one was just like, and I've never seen it like that. So that was my first, like, come to Jesus with Death Valley and what it could be, and going to every single home game after that pretty much. So that's my, like, probably one. And then you can get into, I would say, maybe Florida 2019. Because of the way that the crowd was into it. We chomped them out the stadium. Everybody was swag surfing. It was LSU's going to win a national championship. That's what it felt like.
But you expected and...
Yeah, that's what I was going to a party.
It was like a must-win type thing. This wasn't that. This was...
Yeah, well,
there weren't expectations at LSU.
And that's the best feeling in the world when you don't even know what kind of party you're going to. It's like, this is the best party of all time. I don't even know why. Like, I don't even know how I got in here.
I don't know many people here.
Yeah, I know
a few.
I know them all.
Now I know everybody.
Went to the old balcony bingos. You just missed the party. I think they're on a different time schedule than we all are. It was on 10 at like 11 a.m. And then Stewie went, I think, at like 1 or 2. Shut down. No, nobody's there anymore. Like, everybody was just, they blew their load all over the balcony.
Went to the game.
And then still went to the game. And I was like, they had a smoke machine inside, a whole bunch of like places to dance, a DJ. And I was like, this is unbelievable. So just from the beginning of Saturday to the absolute end, it couldn't have gotten any better.
Top 3.
Top 3.
It was very cool atmosphere.
And in that atmosphere, what does that do for recruiting?
Where you were there, obviously.
I actually sat by one of the commits. I think it might be JoJo Stone.
Yeah. For next year.
He sat like right behind me the whole game.
What did he say?
He was
loving it?
He was loving it. He was like, we're never going to lose to Bama when I get here. Like, he was basically like he's ready to be at LSU. Like, he's ready to be an LSU Tiger. Like, he was just whole game talking about how when he gets to LSU, how it's going to be. So.
We'll get to recruiting in a second. Y'all were there. People were trying to tell me at the end that wasn't fog. That was smoke from the fireworks. That was definitely fog that rolled through.
Yeah, that was.
It was wet.
Right when the game ended.
It was like a
mist.
Like a mist. Yeah. Like
people were trying to tweet at me like, "That's the fireworks, bro."
No. What did you say?
I tweeted out a picture of the fog that came right over the field right when it ended.
It was beautiful.
It was. It was kind of I don't even know how you explain that. It's like a mythical experience.
Yeah.
The fog roll. I thought it wasn't fireworks because you could feel it. It was like a wetness in the air.
Then I also saw people talking about when they were leaving the stadium and walking back, it was kind of like a stiff dew that was.
Yeah.
Like a little drizzle. A slight, not drizzle, but sprinkle.
There's a cloud in the air for old Bama. A little cloud hanging over Nick Saban's head. Because it felt like that was probably the first time he's had to really prepare for not just a good team, but like a head coach that's going to do something like Brian Kelly did, which is go for 2 at the end of it, because I'm seeing how this entire game is playing out. I don't like it. I don't like that we don't have an advantage at home in terms of what's happening on the field by extraneous factors. And so he's like, I'm taking the game into my own hands. I'm going to win it with my players, which I believe the best quote he could have given is, and I feel like that's how a lot of people still feel towards Bama, is if you give me one shot to beat them, like if we could only play one play, then the game would be over. Even if you want to do it first quarter, one play, that's it, like sudden death. I feel like a lot of people would take that option as opposed to going like more time. And so for him to be like, look, we'll just win it right now.
100%.
You don't want to play more football with them.
Well, and you're going to be forced to go for 2 anyways.
At some point. Third overtime.
But yes, that's the best way to put it. I'll give you one play right now to beat Bama. If you get it, you win. If you don't, you lose. Or you can kick an extra point.
Keep it going.
If you make the extra point, I'll let you play Bama.
Mm-hmm. Give me the first
the one where I get to just win right away.
Let me win that, and that because then when I was in the stands, I didn't really necessarily agree with the call just because I was thinking we're at home. Fan play, you score on the first play of overtime. They had to work so hard to be able to get their touchdown. Like, they had to methodically grind 25 yards to be able to score. LSU pops first play, and it's like, okay, hell yeah, let's get this thing rolling. Like, we're about to double down. Defense is playing great, but Brian Kelly just said, no, I'm ending the movie right now, which I love now. because when you take all of that into account, he wasn't. I think I was under the influence. Maybe I wasn't thinking clearly.
I was under the influence.
I definitely was. But and that's another reason.
I was, and I was sober, and
yeah.
I thought, here he goes.
Here he goes.
I mean, hey, he didn't do it against Florida State, so he had to.
Yeah, he had to atone for his sins. Yeah. But and then I also thought maybe he was thinking about the fans. They can't drink beer anymore. Whatever you brought.
I got to get these guys out of here.
Yeah, whatever you brought is probably gone by now because that game took forever. And then he's like, all right, if this starts to go south, now they're not drunk, they're hungover. And that's a totally different conversation than the one you want to have.
He was thinking about a lot in your mind.
Yeah, he was.
He's thinking about everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
That's what a real CEO does.
Exactly. You take everybody into account.
Right.
So.
He's thinking about the business side of it. Like,
right.
I mean, we ain't selling beer no more. Like, come on. We got.
I mean, how many hot dogs do we have left? I'm tired of them telling them, oh, way out of hot dogs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You got to keep that fan experience on 10, and that's
True.
what we did. It's like, we'll just win it now, and they can come on the field and have a party.
Yep. Then they could go party after this.
I don't even know. How do people make it out after that? Like, where do you?
Like I told you, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, you were in college once.
How did you get out?
I didn't. I stayed at the party box.
But I'm saying, you're talking about like how did people?
Yeah. How do you go from there to like I'm walking to Fred's?
Yeah, usually. Like, I mean, I didn't go out after I went home.
But somebody does because those places are packed.
Me and Ron went to roll up that Alabama pack.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
All right. So what do y'all think recruits thought of it?
I think
Stewie's sitting next to him, so
yeah, they loved it.
They loved it. Stewie's in the section.
Well, that's my kind of question for you. Is you say I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
put them in. I know what you're going to say, and I've got the answer.
Okay, good. Recruits don't really react to wins and losses as much as fans do, and they don't really take into account, the product on the field without them there, or they're not necessarily swayed by the environment. I feel like that wasn't the case Saturday.
I think the environment that's not part of my thought. My thought is that they're not committing to you off a win or a loss.
Right.
And I usually say that after losses, but it holds true after a win, in my opinion. They got some commitments that were already expected. Kyrie Lee on Saturday after the game, Dylan Carpenter on Sunday. Those guys would have committed win or lose. But I said this, and I feel like it's true when it went into overtime and they kneeled it out. I looked at Matty B, my coworker at On 3, the Bengal Tiger, and I said, no matter what happens now, the recruits saw an amazing atmosphere. And they saw a team that battled with Alabama till the end. Like, in my mind, a recruit like a Desmond Ricks, a Javian Toviano, if Mason Taylor drops that 2-point conversion, are they like, I'm not really that into LSU after what they just witnessed for 4 hours?
No, I think you still walk away saying that was an incredible experience, but at the end of it
helps.
Yeah, at the end of the night, you want to get that pop where you're like, that was totally worth it. Like, I'm so glad it ended this way. Like,
and that
you can dance with your date all night long, but can
it's
you take her home?
It's not that you won; it's what the environment of the win.
Right, and the environment was.
And the environment is what you sell Tiger Stadium on.
Absolutely,
they got that,
and you probably won't. I mean, that was probably your best chance to make that impression with UAB, the only home game left on the schedule. They probably rolled out the red carpet for everybody for the Alabama weekend, I would imagine.
No doubt. So, yeah, it made a great impression. Every recruit I talked to said it was the best game environment they'd ever seen, which is true.
Which is true, yeah.
And that was including a kid who was at Tennessee Bama this year.
Oh, wow. I think, because that would be, I guess that would have been the game of the year so far in terms of environment. Like, Tennessee was... They've been waiting for that since '98.
Mm-hmm.
They've been building that thing up just like LSU has. It feels like it's been since '98, but LSU has been, hasn't won at home since 2010. You're able to pull that off in Brian Kelly's first year. You could feel the culture changing. You can feel, because there's so many times when LSU has played Alabama where the recruits look on the other end, it's like, oh, I like the way that Nick Saban's coaching this.
Yeah, I mean, because they've won so many of the times.
Right.
I would say, too, that the benefit you get out of this win, like I said, had the game been played into overtime and you lost, I wouldn't feel all that different in terms of just the statement made about where LSU's headed. Now, the environment obviously got to be capped off with the win at the very end, so you got to see the celebration in that regard. But also it opens the door for LSU to get to Atlanta. And playing for an SEC championship, like that's what Brian Kelly and them are selling, right? Like graduate champions. Competing for SEC championships, competing for national championships. If they do that in year one, that's a major pitch to recruits. That matters.
Especially
every game and loss doesn't matter. Florida State wasn't the end of the world. Tennessee wasn't the end of the world. But if you can get to the SEC year one, then you're selling more than just, hey, guys, we're building towards something. It's, hey, look, we did this right away.
We did this with not anybody that I had necessarily recruited. Like, I had to go through the transfer portal,
Everybody on the teams knew. You're starting.
Right. And I guess he did.
Four of your best players in that game are true freshmen.
True freshmen, that's what I was about to backtrack a little bit.
Quarterback and everybody else, Converse who makes the pick, or transfers. I mean, this is a hodgepodge of a team that went together and is playing pretty good ball.
That's it, and that's a tough thing for Brian Kelly to take over and then make competitive year one. And now not even make competitive, but now your whole future's in front of you if you want it. Like, they have nothing but opportunity, which leads to LSU being on TV more.
Yeah, the brand
starts growing. It's been on TV all week so far. Like, every time you put it on SEC Network or anything, ESPNU, whatever, LSU is being talked about and that game is being talked about. So the more it's kind of like in your brain, it's like Pavlov's theory. The more you see LSU and the more you agree with what it is, every time you see it, you feel like you feel good.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
It's well said. You thought it out well, Lloyd.
I did. I didn't think it all before I started speaking.
I'm sure I could go through, but yeah, all the recruits we talked to had a blast. They got 4 commitments in 4 days, kind of sandwiched from the game before and after.
Also, Shea, shout out to you for the Dylan Carpenter tidbits. That was last week. He told us before. He gave us.
He did.
He gave us the blueprint, and then the kid the next day flips. There he is.
Stay tuned.
Shea the power.
Tuned. Who's flipping today?
Not
the
Shea
crystal
the power.
ball.
Yes. Shea has the power of the crystal ball.
What do you think about that?
Well, and the crystal ball's 24/7, and On 3 does the RPM.
Oh, you're revving the engine then.
So yeah, the RPM. I never thought about that. That's new. Rev the engine.
Rev the engine. Shade the engine.
Anything to get me away from what you've done.
Thomas the
so
train.
wait,
Thomas the train. Shade the train.
Thursday, DJ Chester, massive O-line commit.
Huge.
I think every year you are starting, like this year, LSU played like 5 or 6 games with a different O-line combination every time. So whether it's someone not playing well or guys getting hurt, Dellinger's been hurt, other guys, you're probably 6 or 7 O-linemen are going to play a lot. I think DJ Chester is in that 6 or 7 next year as a true freshman.
Really?
Wow.
So I don't know if he's starting, but I do think DJ Chester, like they're bringing in guys now like Emory Jones, Will Campbell, DJ Chester, Zaylon Hurd, who are instant. Like you put them out there early, and they have a lot of football ahead of them.
What year is Miles Frazier?
He's young, right? I think he's only a sophomore.
Bradford's a junior?
Bradford's a junior.
But I mean,
Dellinger's a sophomore.
I wouldn't think Bradford would leave, right?
No.
You're
they've got.
about to just be too deep.
Yeah, they're about to finally have some real depth that if things happen to you, you feel good about moving right forward.
It's incredible. I mean, thank God. Obviously, whatever happened with Will Campbell, he turned out to be all right because that was when really could have been the turning point for the LSU football season. Because that Tennessee game, the offensive line looked helpless.
Yes.
And it's incredible how one player just being that stalwart of that position and then the way that they can move everything around is just kind of based off of that to have a functioning offensive line and now an offensive line that's playing unbelievably well. They were moving Alabama off the ball.
No doubt.
Moving them and handling all the stunts, handling everything out.
And Alabama was bringing a lot of different pressure, different like
looks.
you said, stunts, mixing things up.
Pressure from the boundary.
O-line was there. Josh Williams was there. Balling.
Was that a what? Was that?
Didn't sound like one, but hey,
like a sneeze.
We'll take it.
But that's a testament to Brad Davis, right?
I think the O-line coach, the offensive scheme, everything. I mean, I think this coaching staff has earned their praise.
Absolutely.
Denbrock was awesome in that game, calling it. Matt House awesome. All
LSU is becoming
position coaches clearly have their group in order.
Yes.
Special teams was no snafus. In fact,
there's a huge
punting
snafu.
the hell out of it. Which one?
He kicked it out of bounds.
Kicked it out of bounds.
That was one play.
That's a play you can't have
Shea,
happen.
No doubt.
Shea,
no doubt.
It was
Can't
like,
y'all just enjoy a win?
That was, no, I enjoyed the win, but it was like flashback, like to what was that? 2014,
2012, right? Whenever T.J. Yeldon, Cameron
2012,
Gamble,
kicked it out of bounds. No,
I forgot
Cameron
they did.
Gamble was 2014.
I forgot they did that.
So it was very like mirrored in my brain, like
Absolutely.
oh shit, this is about to happen again. Like Bama's about to go down and score again.
I laid
And
on
it's
the
gonna be
ground
game
in the
over.
stadium under my seat.
Boy, it was dead.
I died under there.
Then,
And then
Mason Taylor caught the 2-point conversion. He was alive again.
yeah, I got chest compressions.
AFib. JJ Watt.
My brother brought me back.
Yeah, he gotcha.
But yeah, that's the only special team snafu though.
No, but it was a great game.
It was. In large part, I think that Brian Kelly is trying to hide some of that, so that's why we go for 2 a lot. That's why we went for it on 4th down a lot. He just is like, I'm taking it out of your hands, putting it in JD's hands.
What do you think Ed Orgeron was doing during that game?
You think? Do you know?
Like,
Was he around?
He
He definitely watched.
No.
I know he watched. He had to watch. That's his players.
I thought someone that might have not been from now. That I thought someone was sharing that he was at the Notre Dame game. That maybe I saw that somewhere.
No, that was last week.
Hey, fair
Maybe it was
trade.
old.
Y'all take Ed
Yeah,
Orgeron.
I'll
We'll
get-
take Brian Kelly. Call it
Wash
clean.
our hands with it.
1 for 1.
There you go. All right, let's take some. There are some questions rolling in. If anybody else has questions, you can drop them. Captain Crown, is Jaylen Brown supposed to be considered a flip watch to Florida State? So he's LSU's commit out of Miami. He's going to enroll early. He's maintained he's solid to LSU. He hasn't been popping up on other campuses a ton this year. But I would watch Florida State. There is buzz out of the Sunshine State that Florida State is trying to get him. My best guess right now is that he sticks.
This is Jaylen Brown, right?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown. I mean, I think he sticks. I think LSU's playing well. I think he wants to be at LSU. I know we're in the NIL era and early in the NIL era of things of college football, so we're kind of monitoring what that means for every kid or just some kids or whatever it might be.
How many of these commits are signing early?
I would all of them. If you don't sign early, I think and you're committed.
So
That's a telling sign to them.
So is Toviano waiting till signing day like the next one? Or is
Nope.
it December?
Toviano's early. Rick's is early.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but of the committed guys right now, everybody should be early, or they'd be a little bit worried about
Trying to buy some time.
how solid you are. Jaylen Brown's an early enrollee too, so he has to sign early. But yeah, I don't have him on flip watch necessarily right now, but I am watching to see if other teams can make a move for him, get him to campus, any official visits may be late, something like that.
If you were able to land both of those recruits that you were just talking about, when you talk about Toviano and Ricks, LSU currently sits as the 5th class nationally. If you get both, or even one of them, do you think that moves the needle enough to be able to jump up a spot or maybe even into the top 3? I think a Desmond Ricks moves you up. A Toviano probably moves you up. Both might move you up inside the 1 or 2.
No, they won't be 1 or 2, I don't think. But yeah,
Who's
depending on how you splash down the stretch, they're 5 or 4 right now in that range. I think they finish 3 or 4 or 5. Once you get that high, there's only so much more you can go.
So much. Well, also, and in the same, I guess in the same vein, like you don't want to see Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, the 4 teams in front of you, get one of them because that's
Yeah,
your average can only be so high.
Georgia has no 5 stars committed. That's kind of surprising.
and they don't have a ton of Georgia kids committed. A lot of LSU's got a couple of the best players in Georgia committed to them. So
Benga and
it's kind of an odd thing.
DJ Chester.
And Whit Weeks. I really like Whit Weeks a lot.
Weeks, baby.
I'm telling y'all, you'll see.
Hey, I'm listening to you from now on, Shea. You usually right.
What
about these
position does
things.
he play?
Linebacker.
Is he a true Mike?
Is he a middle?
He can play Will, but yeah, he can play the mic if he needs to. He's a good player. People saying they were wearing their Bengal Tiger hats. Shout out to all them.
Send us a picture.
No Bengal Tiger hat today.
Yeah.
Didn't coordinate with the fit. Sorry.
Oh, I don't have a Bengal Tiger hat, but I do have Big Daddy Donk's spice sauce, spice seasoning.
Are we doing that right now?
Whenever he gets in the chat, I'm gonna do a taste test.
Okay. We'll wait for
You're
him to
gonna-
pop up.
I
Okay.
got to.
I'll run
Give me some of
through.
that.
I'll run
Tell me
through
why.
some of these quick. We'll do like a. Stu, are you gonna try? Okay, we're not doing that. Wait
Not
till
yet.
the
No,
podcast.
you get some business done. These people are here for you, Shea. I'm just here to.
Yeah,
Start thinking about what you're gonna do with that.
Yeah. I'm
How
just
much?
here.
A
I'm here for the bit.
spoonful, a teaspoon, just a little flick of the
just
wrist.
a little. I grew my pinky nail out.
Okay. Will asked the power.
See it. It
No,
lives.
Will, stop.
Ask the engine.
Chances we land Isaac Smith and Aiden Williams. So Aiden Williams is Ole Miss's best receiver commit. He was in town for the LSU Bama game, but he's from Mississippi. And then Isaac Smith is from Mississippi as well, is one of the top safeties left in the country. LSU really wants him. I think they've got a good shot at him. Both those kids are going to be at the Ole Miss game this weekend versus Bama. And I just think, especially with Aiden Williams, like I'd be surprised if Aiden Williams flipped at this stage just because he's committed to Ole Miss and they'll do whatever to keep him. It was already hard to get Mississippi kids. I think in the NIL era, it's probably going to be a little more tough. Like when State or Ole Miss wants a kid.
They'll call the powers that be.
Just leave it be.
Just leave it be.
What's up with all the powers?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
So
I was just saying they could finally get their like a little bit of a collective together.
But now if Lane,
Just leave it be.
if the, if
it's in your
there's-
head now.
if Lane leaves or something, there could be some Ole Miss room to go in there and jump. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm just speculating here. If the Auburn job's open, whatever. Be willing to watch that. I don't know. Isaac Smith, I feel like they have a better shot at than Aiden Williams, obviously, and they still want more DBs, so they would take them. Rob Boudreaux, good morning, Shea, go Tigers. Shout out, Rob.
Shout out, Rob. So, do you have some crossover from your On3 chat?
Just from like the site, yeah. There's some guys on here for sure. They show love all over. They're everywhere.
Hey, Shea.
Oh, Cordell Music. Do you see Perkins wearing number 7? Ooh.
Oh, he'll be the first. Would he be the second, third if you count Patrick? But wasn't Tyron was 7 as a sophomore? Mm-hmm. That would be he'd be the.
Oh, you mean like next year?
Mm-hmm. He'd be the
I
first.
don't know. I thought he just meant ever.
I'm pretty sure Ali Highsmith was a.
He doesn't count. It starts with Patrick Peterson.
Ooh, Will points out that Perk was 4 in high school. And so that's already taken, so he just went 40.
How do you say Ali Highsmith doesn't count?
It doesn't count in the
Ali
lineage.
Highsmith does count.
No, the tradition started with Patrick Peterson.
No, Ali won a national championship.
That's not what that's the only thing that people get misconstrued about the legacy.
He's a playmaker too.
No, that's fine, but it wasn't established yet. You can't. You can't if you can't. So you have to
I
have
think
somebody
I've seen a
that's-
Patrick Peterson interview where he said the OG is Ali.
Well, he could say that. I can't. Patrick, that's on you. Patrick he's being humble. Patrick started the
You're
tradition.
not being humble.
No, it's because Patrick is the one that did it. PP7 passed it down.
Ali,
to Tyrann
if you're out
Matthew,
here listening,
and that's how it
come
works.
on the show and talk to Lloyd about
Yeah, Ali Highsmith, he runs a 5.2. I got a shot.
No, you don't.
He ran a 5.2 for real.
In the combine.
Oof. It's tough.
Playmaker, though.
Yeah. Hey.
He actually really was. I'm just saying that really starts with Patrick started the legacy by being the one to pass it down. That's all I'm saying. I know there's other great playmakers that were 7, including Ali Highsmith. Won a national championship. Big sack against Ohio State.
Ooh. Brock TV with a good question. How'd you get caught sneaking alcohol in Florida? Because it was stupid because I still had, and this is so long ago, this is 07 Florida, I still had all my cups that were probably like plastic souvenir, or like maybe they were styrofoam. I don't know. So for whatever reason, I thought I still needed them when I got in to be able to mix. So they're just sticking out of my back pocket.
Yeah, they're probably broken.
So very clearly when I walk through, they're like, you've got cups sticking out of your back pocket. Let's give you a quick pat down. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. So, what game was this? What year?
Florida 07. I've already discussed this.
So you didn't get to go in at all. You got caught I was assuming that you got caught like midway through. You know? Like
once you're in, you're in.
That's what I thought too. But I've seen
Those are the
people
rules.
get rowdy and then get caught. Like, are you drinking? Like, well, hell yeah, I'm at Tiger Stadium.
I'm drinking all day.
It'd be weird if I was sober in here.
Will asks, is it true Perkins didn't get much NIL for signing but has improved throughout the year? Yes. I think they took care of things more for these guys when they get to campus and you're on the team, and McKern and all these guys are doing deals. Perk's offer from 8-4, formerly 8-4, currently 3-7, or 6.
Yes, I think it's gone up.
3-6 was a lot more than what LSU was like. I think Harold Perkins
I see
wanted
what
to
you're
be
saying.
at LSU.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
A&M definitely offered him more to play there than LSU.
No doubt. But
they didn't want to go to A&M.
No, I can't go there. And
it's not going to be an option for me.
Perk saw Yale practice. That's what it was, Coach.
And it's a cautionary tale for all of you LSU.
And he considers himself a New Orleans kid in a way too.
He is. I mean, I feel like he's more New Orleans than he is Houston. You know, he feels like he's Louisiana.
Had to go to Houston.
But had to. But this is like a tale for recruits that are going to A&M, if it's just about the money, wherever you can actually have a chance to come make an impact and be on a a solid squad where you actually want to be, as opposed to just chasing. Like, I'm sure a lot of that money is so big you can't turn it down, but for you to maybe bet on yourself a little bit and see how LSU's doing the model where it's almost like it's incentive based a little bit in terms of like how Gordon described it on the show yesterday. Well, I think they do like 3-month contracts at a time.
And I think with LSU too, they're selling so much more than
just money.
That's not, and I don't think that, I know this from talking to sources, like if a kid's first discussion with the staff is about NIL, might not,
It might, yeah, you should be selling the program.
Correct. So they're selling, you get to play for a head coach who's been in it 30 plus years and is successful to a very extremely high degree win percentage wise. Great staff at LSU in games like that one, on national television. The exposure of LSU's brand with the social media team, all this does is going to put you out there more than anybody else. The ability to look at the NFL, like Bama, LSU, Ohio State, are the teams that are putting everyone in the NFL. If you're a DB, it's the DB tradition. So some schools can't offer, like A&M can't offer all that.
No, they have no real. They don't have any tradition within the SEC.
I think with LSU, they're pitching so much more than NIL, to where I think NIL doesn't become a massive. The appeal isn't NIL. The appeal is playing at LSU.
And then we'll catch you on the back end. If you're everything that we think you are, you'll get paid. Don't worry.
Right.
It's actually not a bad strategy, because I've been hard on LSU for not even being really in the game, but the way that they've pivoted to this and made it like a pay for play structure. Essentially, I don't really know what they're doing, but the incentive,
not pay for play,
incentive-based contracts for, I guess, NIL is the way to do it, because you're selling your actual program. You're not selling just a check, which I love. Because LSU, I didn't think about what you said with the branding aspect of it, in terms of why do you think, like Perk 40 is a star now. He's in every video. You see him all the time. Like the power of social media is something that LSU does well, and that's something that they're probably selling a lot to recruits. If you make plays, we'll be able to capture them and make them cooler.
No, well, yeah, you get all that sold. And just playing and being developed by this staff and at this school and in this conference. And, yeah.
And you'd have to imagine that there's some sort of – you could also sell a little bit of stability with Brian Kelly, 10 years.
Well, yeah, now that he's got a long-term contract and, like, we're here.
Yeah, and a lot of the staff feels like it's going to stick around. I mean, I guess you're concerned about Matt House at some point maybe fielding other
I'll say
offers.
this. Brian Kelly's history of hiring DCs is excellent.
There's some good ones out there.
A lot of good ones.
Yes.
If you have to do what?
If you have to replace Matt House, he has to is that why you're saying that, or because he found him?
Why would we have to replace Matt?
Because he might go to
No, I'm just saying, you said it, so I said I'm...
You shut your mouth.
He found House, didn't he?
You shut your mouth.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's hitting every time.
Shut your mouth.
I don't want him to leave either. I want him to build his house here.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Save Matthew.
This is a good question from Captain Crown. So, when LSU makes a SEC championship game, what happens to the Nicholas Harbor visit? Because that's scheduled for December 3rd. When that got scheduled, I think that they were kind of like,
yeah, I don't know where we're at, guys.
Probably not going to be the SEC championship. Now that it looks like you are, he's visiting Maryland that next weekend. So my guess would be he then visits LSU the following weekend, which is when Desmond Ricks and all them are going to be in town. So you could be looking at a signing the last weekend before signing day, having Harbor on campus, having Ricks on campus.
Toviano.
If he comes back, he's done an official already. Or he could move.
And that's the last week to visit, correct?
Move the Maryland visit back and then visit LSU on the 9th. So, but I do think LSU gets an official, even if they play in the SEC championship.
Pain all over.
I guess he wouldn't want to come to the SEC championship. That's not really what you're doing for recruiting. You need to see the facilities and talk to people. Trip. Yeah. But I'm sure he'd want to be on the sidelines.
I'm trying to go to Jordy.
Trent Gregory asked, "Are we still recruiting Derek Williams, Texas commit out of Westgate?" I mean, they're trying, but it's very clear at this stage that he is.
Yeah, he's locked into Texas.
Whatever they've got going, he's in. He didn't visit this past weekend.
Damn it.
He no-showed on Bama before, so.
Damn.
He had said before he would take official visits, so we'll see if that actually comes true, but he's not even popping in for games, so it would be a little surprising if he did officials.
Don't lie to me.
I mean, because he definitely could have gotten a field pass for that game.
Oh, Coach Jesus. I mean,
come on in.
Bring him in the locker room.
Yeah,
before
come on
game.
in. And for him to
Can he suit up?
For him to be like, I don't even want to be there. I guess that's as telling as it really needs to be.
Yep.
Texas is doing something special though. I feel like they're silently trending in the right direction for who. Obviously, Arch Manning is a big splash, but everything around.
We saw the latest. Well, some of the latest bowl game projections have Cotton Bowl, LSU, or Sugar Bowl, LSU, Texas.
I would love that.
Get a little showdown. Run it back.
Run it back.
No problem.
Where are we gonna put the band?
Up in the top.
Up at the top.
And the nosebleeds.
No, put them at the bottom. We're not like
That's what I said.
Treat them with respect.
Exactly. You don't want to make that man carry a tuba all the way up all those steps.
Hunter Fournette, do you think Emory Jones kicks inside with Zalance Hurd coming in, or do you think he busts his chops? Or do you think Hurd busts his chops inside early first? I think Hurd's a good right tackle. He can play right tackle in college. You could be back to the Neville offensive line again of Hurd and Campbell at your 2 tackle spots. That'll be something to watch in the offseason. You got to see how some guys come along. I do think the goal would be eventually to get Emory inside. That's his best position. But he ain't too shabby at right tackle right now.
I was about to say, or he's just going to turn into this monster of a man at right tackle where if you could do it your freshman year, I don't see it getting harder for you.
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins said, ask Shea, favorite Sonic to settle your disputes at?
Oh, the one on Jackson Street, baby.
No, I would say the one by the old Mellow Mushroom near campus. That way, if something goes wrong, there's a lot of people around there.
Oh, yeah, well, East Boyd.
Yeah,
that's a great spot.
You don't want to be anywhere solo dolo with your
No.
Sonic fights.
But the Sonic, we actually did, not me, but Alexandria, the one on Jackson Street, baby, across from Max Fresh Market. Park your truck, get your Route 44, and start swinging.
I was about to say that's Franklin.com.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I never understood that. They would go there, after football games on Friday and just park your truck and sit on the tailgate. It's like, you don't got nowhere.
Just hang out.
You don't got nowhere
does
to
your
go?
body hurt? Do you want to just go? I just used to go home and lay down after games.
No, these are the kids that didn't play that went to the games. And then I guess they just wanted to keep drinking somewhere, but they didn't have any house to go to.
Yeah.
So they would just go to Sonic. And
I might stop by, but I ain't staying long, Coach.
I'm trying to get a corn dog and bounce.
Yeah.
Justin McVicker, Toviano's going to Texas this weekend. Stu is worried about that one. How confident are we that he's LSU commit? He's definitely not committed right now, not even silently. So I'm confident there that he's not a silent commit. If you're tracking his actions, they are all very pro LSU. He was at the Southern game. He was at this past weekend's game. He was at the Bayou Splash, which was the last recruiting event he did in the summer. He went to then he's been to 2 neutral site games, Texas OU, A&M Arkansas, and he went to the A&M Arkansas game in LSU gear. So now he's visiting Texas this weekend. I think people are worried because a lot of Texas kids are supposed to be in Austin for the TCU game this weekend. TCU's a top 4 team. Playoff implications, they're expecting that to be a really good game. So I don't know.
If he wears LSU gear silently again to Texas,
I feel good about Toviano, but that's why I've never put in a pick there because you know he's going to, at the end, there's going to be other schools here in the mix, and lo and behold, here's Texas quietly moving along.
Mm-hmm.
But
Texas,
I don't know. I'm still LSU's still the lead team for me. I'm not changing there yet.
And that was just for Taviano or for Taviano and Rick?
That was for Toviano.
There's another question from Ancestral Modern Man. Shea, confidence level on Toviano and Ricks if they come to you see some current DB commits decommitting.
If they got both, would current DB commits decommit?
Yeah, I don't think they have enough.
I don't think so. No, I've said it's a multi-year rebuild there. They need as many DBs as they can get.
To be able to get 2.
They should be. They want to hold on to everybody. Ancestral Modern Man.
That's the one I just
asked
read.
Shea about the Tamu decommits.
Oh, no.
Rumors about Tamu decommits is LSU in the running Bravion, specifically Bravion Rogers. I do not think LSU is going to get Bravion Rogers. I think they have a better shot with Desmond Ricks and Toviano at this stage. But, yeah.
Where would you...
Bravion is committed to A&M, and he's visiting Texas this weekend. Anthony Hill, a linebacker, was committed to A&M, decommitted. Everybody thinks he's going to flip to Texas, and he's going this weekend. So, be watching out for that one.
What's your, I guess, comp to Desmond Ricks, player-wise? Shea. The power.
more of an Eli Ricks type of like thinner guy coming out of high school. Like Stingley and them were like jacked up coming out of high school. Like Fulton was a filled out kid coming out of high school. More in that mold. Like a McGlothern body type, Ricks, guys like that who've come through the program. And,
like long.
Rashard
Robinson.
Rashard Robinson is a good comp for that. Guys like that, long, can turn and run, have some range to them, but aren't the type that are
when you see
jam
them
you, very physical, Surtain, Stingley type of kids. More on the other end of that.
How good is Surtain in the NFL? That's unbelievable.
Super.
And Stingley this year.
I knew Stingley. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have thought both would be good, but Patrick Surtain, the way they talk about him in the NFL is he's a lockdown. Same thing for Sauce, but I feel like I haven't heard much about Stingley this year. Like,
it's good though.
Yeah, but the way that they're talking about, like, I think Sauce Gardner's taken all of his shine because he's been electric.
He's playing in bigger games.
Yeah,
Jets are better.
They're competing.
Well, people and Bilbo Baggins mentioned LSU as a recruit going to Texas, but supposedly might be trying to flip UT recruits to LSU. I don't know if he's talking about Toviano or if someone else. Like Ryan Yates is a guy's invited, but I don't think he's going. At least he hasn't said he is, and we keep up with him. But people are comparing it to back when Kerry Vincent went with Caleb on Chase on to recruit him on his Texas visit. But like Kerry was committed to LSU, so publicly, so that'd be a bit different. Longhorns for Anthony Hill. Does LSU have a chance from Just McVicker? He's the 5-star linebacker that decommitted from A&M. Yes, everybody expects it to be Texas. Captain Crown. So did Bravion Rogers visit for the LSU Bama game or not? Some folks said they wanted to keep it under wraps. Speak said there was miscommunication. I've talked to multiple people who did not say anything about wanting to keep it under wraps and just said they weren't there unless they were there on their own, like hanging out. I was on the sidelines for a long time. I never saw him. So they're not him and Javion Thomas, another A&M commit. And they would have just said that they were there. They were openly talking about going to Texas this weekend. They're not worried about that.
What time do you get to inside
So
the
I would
stadium?
lean, I don't think that they were there.
What time do you get into the game?
About an hour and a half before, 2 hours before.
You walk around on the field?
Mm-hmm.
Collect information, scoops.
Talk to the kids.
Modern Man said they need the obligatory Harbor update. Again, Captain Crown asked a good question. If they do make the SEC championship, they'll have to shuffle that official visit. I will think they'll push it back and then potentially have him on campus the same weekend as Rick's, but we'll see.
If you get both of those guys.
Phil G asked, did Jaden get an NIL deal when he came to LSU? And if not, does he have one now? Yes, he signed with Gordon yesterday. That was his first big deal.
I can't believe people are Gordon straight up on the show said he was going to sign Jaden Daniels and Josh Williams, and they're like acting like it was breaking news. I was like, did y'all? I mean, not everybody watches this show, but
I mean, Coach.
Even people that watch the show that came in here this morning, that were in the chat, like, so you got an NIL deal? I was like, did you listen to the show yesterday?
Talking to his mom.
I'm talking to
45 minutes. Like,
yeah, I'm talking to his daddy.
Talk to his daddy.
So I mean, great for Josh Williams to be able to get one too. Obviously, He said the way Gordon phrased it, I may have been out over my skis after the win of Alabama, and I just offered some. I started putting together some NIL deals after the game.
Oh wait, I've actually gotten to the end here. Greedy Williams, ooh, that's a good comp. Phil G.
Ooh, all right, I like that comp.
I like the greedy comp. Good job, Phil G. Crypto Theo said Christian Fulton, but I think Fulton was a little like Fulton was
he's thick.
He was a thick kid coming out of Rummel. Desmond Ricks is not built in that same way.
What, 170?
All right, we got about 10 minutes to go. If anyone else has questions, but I've caught up all the way on the chat. Mac Daddy Donk is in the chat and said, "Bump, bump, bump, bump. Hey, 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 Mac Daddy, look at it.
Get me in there. I don't know if I can get in. All right, hold on. Did you pop it?
Did y'all send Mac Daddy some gear or something?
Katie did.
The dude spent $12 on shipping, let alone
doubt.
all this stuff that's in here.
You thief.
This is the way to do it. I used it the other day.
All right, well, I'm taking 2 of them, Mac
I
Daddy.
just used my thumb.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, they're in.
Get me in there.
Lloyd's in. How's it taste?
I actually used some last night. So.
Here, you're putting your spit finger back in there.
This is mine. This is all mine.
Ooh,
We got some heat.
a little heat. A little heat.
What do we call it? The only thing I was upset with Big Daddy Donk, Mac Daddy Donk,
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy Donk is why isn't it named Mac Daddy Donk?
Well, it's Cajun Smokers, rubbing and grubbing.
It's not just a rub,
Not just a rub, all-purpose rub and seasoning, no MSG,
which I thought is
no calories.
Maybe a mistake. I wanted the MSG in there.
No calories. It's really just a bunch of spices, obviously.
We're going out of Bro Bridge, Louisiana. Cajun Smokers.
Shout out to the 337, man.
297 Caleb Street. Cajun Smokers, rubbing and grubbing. Mac Daddy Donk could not be more appreciated. I don't know why I couldn't get this one open.
2 longtime friends. I'm assuming Mac Daddy's one of them.
You think so?
I hope.
Me too.
I wonder if, or did you just like bust right through it?
Yeah, I couldn't get it open.
I just bust a little.
How did you do it?
I just used my hand, my finger, thumb.
Well, I mean, I don't
This
want to
dude
break
just took
it.
the top off.
Like a child, dude.
I don't want to break it and then it go everywhere.
You gotta try. That's what I was trying to do too.
Y'all are
You gotta
struggling.
push. Give it to Strong Stewie. He'll pop one open.
Open this.
You've been
for
drinking
me.
it with water?
Put it in the water.
No.
All right, that's fine.
Well, you're just gonna break your nails or
Yeah,
something.
I got you.
Oh, sexist. She just did Pilates. She's her body. Yeah.
Just got a little strength over there.
I think I had the safe
That's because
lock
y'all
on.
weren't trying to bust through the actual like.
Yeah,
push.
I was on the wrong side of it. I was just breaking
We've
plastic.
been doing that forever.
All right, hand it to me.
Y'all are doing a great job.
Thank you, Stewie. Producer.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Stewie.
Got to keep
Alright.
everything together over
This
here.
is how Shea gets the power.
This is
He puts it on everything.
Right.
Morning, noon, and night.
Oh, going with the pour in the hand.
all right, Mac Daddy.
Open up your sinuses.
I've been a little stuffy. This is gonna be good.
It's good for you. Put it in a little tea. A little chamomile. A little Mac Daddy.
You know you want to lick it off your hand.
Lick it. Lick it. Yeah!
It's really good.
It is good.
That's really good.
Chicken, pork, beef,
Anything.
sushi,
Some ribs.
cat food,
You said pork.
Did
Pork.
you just say cat food?
sandwiches,
You put it in your cat's food?
dog food.
Ah, you can't give dogs
A roux?
spices.
It's got a.
Gumbo.
It's got an afterkick,
It's got a good-
but it's not too much.
Exactly. So, suggestion is,
That's really good.
it does need MSG. Keep
Does
eating
not
it all.
know there's no MSG in it.
You could add, make one for me.
All right,
Little-
Mac
just a
Daddy
little
Dog.
sprinkle.
Yeah, Brock TV said we're a bunch of lady men. Over here.
No.
We couldn't even open the
Oh,
package.
you said, look at that! I broke the whole thing. I didn't know how to get in there. I opened up
That
the
was
other
good,
one the
Mac
same
Daddy
way. I
Dog.
thought I
I'm
was
taking,
prepared.
Put these in my fanny pack. I'm taking these home.
Take it home. Take it home. Great for a little marinade, a little pre-rub.
Yeah.
Rub one out. Make the lady happy. Cook her some dinner.
Oh,
Or
this
man.
tastes good.
Whatever you like. Love is love. Big Daddy Donk. Zoom in on her, Stewie. Zoom in on her.
Do I need to just get up, Stewie? Is that easier?
No, watch this. We didn't pay all this money.
Yeah, you just stay there. You just stay right there.
This is for you, Mac Daddy.
Look,
Dog.
Shea harnessing the power he's doing with his mind. Now zoom in. Look at this.
I could have easily just gotten up.
No,
and
no.
put it
Now,
right
now
there.
get up. Keep going.
That's a good camera.
Keep going.
What do
More.
you think about that?
More.
This is free advertising. Well, not really free. You paid $18 in shipping.
And shipping, yeah, and I think we sent him a shirt.
Got a
But
little
now that's the
story there.
The official spice
Look at that.
of
No
Shea-
calories.
No calories.
Just a bunch of spice. Calories in that.
I wonder what else I could put. I wonder what I actually don't like that I could put this on that would make it taste
Rubbing and
good.
grubbing.
What don't you like?
I
I'm
don't like a
glad
lot
my
of
nails
stuff.
don't look terrible today. I didn't know I was doing a close up.
Oh man. Are you? I don't. I
So
see
shout
you.
out Mac Daddy Donk.
Shout out Mac Daddy Donk.
Shout out Lance Beal.
Shout out Lance Beal. I feel like you're
Send Lance some of this.
absolutely.
Got to give him a couple of these. There's a few of them more. There's a bunch in there.
If he's at
Stu, you got some? We'll leave some for Jordy.
if he's in Bro Bridge, that's close to Lafayette.
Yeah, it is.
He'll be able to. We'll send some.
You actually have to pass through Bro Bridge to get to Lafayette.
Before he came through.
I love somebody that's a man of his word. Big Daddy Donk, Mac Daddy Donk, serving up the spices. So that means this man's brewing spices and listening to Shea the Power Hour. So you're helping people get through their day, making a better product. It's just people.
Bilbo
helping
Baggins
people.
is trying to put us on some chupacabra seasoning. This is all about
It's-
Mac Daddy Donk
Yeah.
right now. We do not have time for any of that.
Oh, I thought he was making it. Hey, Bilbo,
No.
no, we're just supporting the local people here. I'm not going to buy anything. but I will taste it and review it.
Mac Daddy said they're the Cajun Smokers.
The Cajun Smokers.
With a K.
Cajun Smokers with a K. Rubbin' and grubbin'. I'd smoke that. Tyree
Love said any other running backs we're targeting for 2023. No, I think they'll be done with Caleb Jackson and Trey Holly. But I'm curious if they look in the portal at all. I guess it depends on what happens with Emory. And then if you actually Goodwin and Kane and all those guys stay.
Mac Daddy Donk about to be in Rouse's. We're going up. The official spice of the recruiting power hour.
Oh, Mac Daddy said they're about to be at Rouse's. Ace Jordan said Mac needs to make a female can for these guys.
Dude, no.
After I saw you struggle, I knew I shouldn't have gone in for it.
I don't know what I was doing. I was pushing on the wrong side.
Yeah, I know what I was doing. I was pushing on the side that was not supposed to be broken. Yeah, Actually, I was just jamming a pin into it.
I gotta debunk this. I need to hit the gym. Even though I do need to go, I'm going at 12, so that's why I gotta wrap this thing up. Look, I mean, this is strictly power. That thing is broken. Which one are we going? Look at that. I broke it. Like, this is where you're supposed to be pushing it. And I went with the other side. So don't.
We didn't say we were smart.
No, it didn't say. It didn't come with instructions.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to. I think you just.
I think it's self-explanatory.
You should just know.
But delicious and worth the effort.
Shout out to Mac Daddy Donk.
Shout out to Mac Daddy Donk.
It was good.
It was good. I still taste it.
It's a good way to end the show. Consider that he's in there every week.
Absolutely.
And he came through. He said he was going to send it, and he did.
And then I hope we.
Did you send him a care package?
I don't know what we promised, but I hope we under-promised and over-delivered, or over-promised and under-delivered.
You don't
Either
want the
way.
second. I'm still tasting it. That's good.
Great for a Bloody Mary.
Did you send him something?
I think so.
You think?
That would be Katie. That would be Katie. That's Katie's job. That's Mom's job.
All right.
It's Katie's department.
I'll talk to Katie.
She's in the imports and exports business.
Yes. Yes, she is.
All right.
I wonder how we can incorporate this into recruiting. I'm trying to think of like how many dashes, how many Big Daddy Donks, something like that. Because we need something for you for here.
How confident are you? One shake, two shakes, three.
Oh, the RPMs are going up.
How much seasoning do you need?
How much power do we have? How many RPMs?
Oh wait, Mac Daddy said he also got a shirt for his son. He loves it. So Katie must have sent something.
Oh, there we go.
If not,
no, he wouldn't lie on here.
No. If not, like I don't know if that's even what he's talking about. I'm assuming. Thank you, Mac Daddy. Thank you to everybody in the chat that was hanging.
Sweet potatoes. Yeah, hell yeah.
LSU recruiting's rocking.
LSU is rocking. Alabama
away game this weekend.
Trap game.
So you're not hosting anybody, and then UAB.
Trap game.
UAB is a trap game.
Yeah, it'd be me trapping at the game.
Gotta watch out for them Blazers, coach.
Oof. Hey, that's who they compare the Nick Saban year a lot to his first year at LSU to Brian Kelly's first year at LSU. Didn't he drop one to UAB his first year? Mm-hmm. And then I feel like that's what this game feels like against Arkansas. Not to that degree.
No, but Arkansas ain't UAB.
I know that, but it was after LSU.
Lose to UAB in 2 weeks, and that's UAB.
No, I'm saying that the situation in which it is currently set in. In 2000, Nick Saban beat Tennessee, didn't he, in his first year?
Yeah, I think they did.
Like he pulled off a pretty massive win. Then the next week was UAB, and it was a dud. So that's all I'm saying, that LSU is at the highest of highs right now.
I saw a stat that I guess this is a stat or just a fact that Brian Kelly has won 17 straight games in November. So 4, 8, 12, 6, so 4 straight years to close out Notre Dame. They won every game in November, and then he won this one. So
it's December that gets him.
It's got him dialed in for that final month of the season.
I like that. I mean, but that's that. The only other thing that I'll say about this and comparing like what LSU was and what it feels like under Brian Kelly is that you don't have to worry about the team giving up, because now after I think Les Miles and Ed Orgeron both did the same thing where they hyped Alabama up so much that if you didn't win, it was kind of everything's backsliding now. Edo did a somewhat good job early on by continuing to play hard against Arkansas in those games after Alabama, but Les Miles, those teams had given up because like the season's over. Can't do it. We ain't gonna win the West.
We ain't going to the
Yeah, we ain't going to the SEC championship game, so now we can't go to the national championship. Now with the playoff, that shifts a couple of things, but now LSU is in the driver's seat for the SEC West. So for any reason to think that that would be a rollover game or like a trap game, you're still playing for everything that was right in front of you. Like,
right.
This is just as important as Alabama now, because now your season means something. This was supposed to be a measuring stick. Now you're seeing how tall am I.
We'll get one last and then we'll get out of here. Tari Love said, ask Shea, the Georgia O-line commit that came Saturday, can he be flipped? I think he could be because there was rumors, Bo Hughley is his name. He's committed to Georgia. He's a top 10 offensive tackle for this class right now. He skipped the Georgia-Tennessee game in Athens and came to this game, which is telling. He's now teammates with JoJo Stone, who sat behind you at the game.
Looks like he had fun, too.
I think it's possible. I think anything else they do on the O-line right now is laying yap. They've got 4 very good ones. I would say with Bo Hughley, the goal now is to try to get him back on an official visit, get to know him and his family a little bit more, and if there is a potential for a flip, you would kind of get a feel for it then. So.
All right.
All right, let's rock.
That was the Power Hour.
Boom.
I appreciate you coming in, sir. Thank you, Big Daddy Donk.
Of course.
Mac Daddy Donk. I don't know how I changed this to Big Daddy Donk, but either way, Mac Daddy Donk, appreciate the package. Anybody who wants to send anything here, we will review it. We will open it on air. We will. You can send us a live animal.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even tell us. Unboxing.
Yeah, they were definitely sitting behind me. Me and Ryan.
Oh, this guy too?
Yeah. It was him and JoJo Stone.
Y'all do a little recruiting?
No, just hanging out.
It was Bo Hughley?
Yep.
Big kid.
Big kid. Does he have like blonde in his
Yeah,
hair? Yep. It was him.
Huge O-lineman.
Huge.
Big kid.
Saw a great game.
Saw a great game, for sure.
Saw a great O-line. Saw a great scheme. Jaden Daniels come back or leave?
All right. You ready?
Ready.
Shout out Lance Spiel. Thank you. Shout out Mac Daddy Donk.
Shout out Mac Daddy Donk. Shout out
For the
Shea
spices.
for always being here for us. I appreciate it, buddy.
And shout out Power for being a good sport.
Absolutely.
Shea the
Yeah,
Power.
I mean, the man should know.
He's not Shea the Power.
He's not Shea the
All right.
Power.
Thanks to everyone who listened today. I appreciate y'all.
I mean, quarterback commit.
Yeah, Colin Hurley. We talked about that already.
Okay, cool.
We'll talk more next week about
I
it.
just saw him throw the football yesterday for the first time. He just threw it like 85
Look at him.
I
yards.
see him throw that ball.
I see it and I got excited.
Save it. We'll talk next week.
Lance Bill up next.
Used to be, when you needed legal help for complicated issues, you could walk into your hometown lawyer's office and get assistance for a variety of legal needs. Nowadays, every time you have a different issue, it seems like you have to meet a new lawyer at a new law firm for every legal problem. Attorneys Lance Beal and Kenny Hebert at Beal & Hebert in Lafayette are here to offer you one law firm for all your legal needs. Beal & Hebert have several attorneys experienced in multiple areas of law, whether it's personal injury, family law, estate planning, business law, construction law, and more. Beal & Hebert can handle all of your legal needs. Beal & Hebert, Louisiana's hometown lawyers.